Instead of creating hundreds of static workflows, Smart Rules allow you to quickly build dynamic formulas that trigger actions based on the conditions you choose, all without the need for coding or a complicated workflow manager. Let's build a Smart Rule together. In this scenario, your customer support team has an SLA reply time goal in place that requires a response to clients within 3 hours. If the 3-hour reply time window is not met, you would like to notify that team's manager so that they can investigate and ensure everything is okay with the client's request. We can build a Smart Rule that will trigger when an SLA breach occurs. On the back end, the Smart Rule will look to see which manager should be notified. This one rule can replace dozens or more hard-to-manage rules with one Smart Rule. Note that prior to creating your rule, you will need to configure any custom fields under Company Settings, Custom Fields. Custom fields add more details to your resources so that your Smart Rules can access the necessary information to complete your workflow. In this case, you'll need to create a custom field for your inboxes called Team Manager. This custom field will tell Front who the manager for each inbox is. To start building a Smart Rule, an admin can click the gear icon to access Workspace Settings and select Rules and Macros. In the Rules library, you'll select Create from Scratch to get started. In the Rule Builder, name your rule and select a trigger event. In this case, we'll use the trigger when the SLA breach tag is added because we want the rule to trigger when the conversation's SLA is breached. Now we can add filters to narrow down the rule's scope. For instance, we only want this rule to apply to our support inboxes. Now for the smart part, creating a dynamic variable. Click Add Dynamic Variable at the top here, and a panel will open where you can begin constructing your variable step by step. Start by selecting the property you want to work with. In this case, we want to look at the inbox the conversation lives in, so we're going to select Inboxes. We choose Inboxes because we want to look at the inbox custom field data, then Conversation because we want to see the custom field data for the inbox in which that conversation lives. We'll add a step and we'll select First Element, which will return the first element of the list. Lastly, choose our custom field, Team Manager, which is an inbox level custom field. This is telling Front to check the inbox that the conversation lives in and then surface the correct team manager for that inbox. I'll name my dynamic variable and save it. Back in our rule, for the action, I'll select Assign to Teammate, Team Manager. Now, whenever the rule conditions are met, it will evaluate the dynamic variable and perform the associated action, like assigning the manager from that specific team's inbox when an SLA breach happens. Smart, efficient, and no coding required.